10. You're pretty much halfway through this challenge. Today we have an arm and ab workout. Let's do it. Starting this workout with a plank, of course, to warm up the whole body, but especially our arms. It's going to be a 30-second forearm plank hold. We're then going to move into those arm taps like we did yesterday, and then we're going to do some levels to finish up this 1 minute and 30-second plank. You got this. You can stay on your knees for the last two movements. Let's get ready in 3, in 2, in 1. So starting in this forearm plank, again, you can clasp your hands together just to give yourself a little bit more support. And remember, you can always walk your feet further away from each other. So like I said, the two last movements that we're going to be doing, you can do them on your knees. So we have 10 more seconds here. We're going to go into those hand taps, arm taps, whatever you want to call them, in 3, in 2, in 1. So you can be right here as you tap one hand out, bring it back in, tap the other. Otherwise, maybe you're going to walk your feet a bit further away from each other, really just to try to avoid a rock in the hips. I know I still have a bit of a rock, but I'm really trying my best to stabilize myself. Maybe bringing the weight forward a little bit more. Draw the lower belly in. You're going to finish off this plank, this warm-up plank, in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2, in 1 with some levels. So up, up, down, down. Remember, you can be right here, trying our best to maybe push off the opposite hand every single time. And remember, you don't have to go very fast. Make sure that you're breathing through this. Good. Check this out. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Going straight into some core work. Let's slowly lower ourselves down towards our mat. Feet about 6 inches apart, toes facing forward. We're going to come into a 20-second normal crunch. So just lifting the shoulder blades up and down with a 10-second hold. Then we're going to keep our shoulder blades lifted. We're going to go into some ankle taps. So tapping one ankle at a time, 20 seconds. You're going to hold to one side. You're going to pulse for 5 seconds before right away you pulse to the other side before we go right back into your normal crunches. Alrighty, taking it at your own pace. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's do this. Up and lower, up and down. So for our crunches, let's see if we can look up towards the ceiling so that we're keeping some space in between our chin and our neck. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, we're just holding here for 10 seconds. Maybe bringing your hands out in front of you, perhaps lifting the shoulder blades up just a little bit higher. Ankle taps in 3, in 2, in 1. We tap and then we tap. So personally, I really like bringing my hand behind my head just because I feel like my head gets a little bit heavy. If it gets too heavy, you can always keep both hands. You just twist from side to side. You have your first pulse coming up in 3, in 2, in 1. We pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We switch right away. You go up and down, we go up and down. So right now we are targeting upper and middle core in these crunches. In our second exercise, not only targeting upper middle core, but also we get into our obliques. 3 and 2 and 1. We stay here, we hold. As I mentioned yesterday or maybe the day before, I find holds to be really, really challenging. I prefer a pulse, but sometimes we need to do the challenging ones. 3, 2, 1, we reach and reach. So for your ankle taps, maybe you can bring your feet further away from you every single time we come into another set so that you're reaching a little bit further. So obviously the closer the heels are towards you, the easier it's going to be. 3 and 2 and 1. We pulse for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. You switch for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, 1. This is it. Final round. So final round of these normal crunches, and then we do our final round of our ankle taps. You're doing awesome, going at your own pace, and don't forget you're always breathing through this. You have that final hold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do this ankle taps. So reaching a little bit further, you don't have to go very fast. If you know my classes pretty well, and you should after 10 days now, I like to go slower rather than fast so that you control the movements. 3 and 2 and 1. We pulse for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. We switch for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Release. I don't know about you guys, the last time we did an arm workout, my arms were hurting for days afterwards, so I'm interested to see how I'm going to feel tomorrow. But it's good, we're working hard. We're really going to work our arms with 3 rounds of push-ups. The first one, we're going to come into our triceps. Remember, you can be on your toes, your knees, but we really want to bring that weight forward. And then you can also be on your legs. For your triceps, you do want to have the elbows as close towards the body as possible. 20 seconds before we move into our wide push-ups. Wide push-ups, hands wider than shoulders, slightly further up. Fingertips turns in towards each other. This time the elbows come out as you come down, and then you lift it back up. The final one, we're going to bring our hands together. All right, so this one, again, you want to keep the elbows as close towards the body as possible before you push back up. Those ones are tough. You don't have to give me too many of those ones. But it's going to be 20 seconds of each exercise. We are going to have a rest in between. We're going to have a longer rest after we're done the 3 rounds before we do it just one more time, all right? So starting with your tricep push-ups in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's do this. So I am going to stay down on my knees. Maybe one day I can be on my toes, but really taking it at my own pace here. Again, you can be on full legs down on your mat for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Let that go. So we do have a little bit of a rest here. You can choose to rest in child's pose, maybe just sitting on your legs. You can shake it out, but we have our other wide push-ups. So setting up for that, hands wider than shoulders, slightly further up, fingertips slightly turned in towards each other. 3, 2, 1. You come down and up, down and up, really making sure your knees, they're not in line with your hips. If you're down on your knees, you do want to bring the weight forward, so you're really targeting the upper body. For 3, for 2, for 1, release. So again, just take a second, shake it out, take a couple of breaths. It's good to work hard for that 20 seconds, have yourself that 10-second recovery, and then we come back. A lot of times I like to do an active recovery, but we're really allowing ourselves to rest. All right, so you have hands together in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Down and up. These are super challenging, at least I find them to be pretty challenging. Really targeting a different part of our arms here. So take it at your own pace. Remember, you can have the legs down on the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, a little bit of a longer rest here. So shaking out the wrists, I'm already feeling it, letting that go. It's good. 20 seconds. You can do anything for 20 seconds, setting your minds to it. We are going to come back with those tricep push-ups, final tricep push-ups for today. Get ready for that in 3, in 2, in 1. So remember, you don't have to go very fast. Even if you just give me, 1 push-up, that's more than enough. Working to your maximum. So whatever that means for you today. Breathing through it for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Woo! Really felt that last one. Good. Shake it out, letting that go. So we have our final round of our wide push-ups. All right, toes, knees, legs, whatever works for you. Setting up for that. Remember, elbows wide in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's do this. Good. So maybe the next time we do this, we try it a different way. Maybe if you always do this on your legs, you try it on your knees. Maybe if you're on your knees, you try it on your toes. Maybe if you just give me 1, next time you give me 2, whatever it means for you. 3, and 2, and 1. Release. All right, so We have those deadly hands together push-ups. So again, these ones, keeping the elbows as close to you as possible, really shifting the weight forward as you come down to really target your arms in 5, in 4, in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Woo, we will feel these tomorrow, at least I will. Really strengthening our upper body, which is awesome. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shaking out the arms. Let's give our arms a bit of a rest. Coming into our core. So as I mentioned in the first exercise that we did, targeting upper, middle, and obliques. And this time we're going to really target the lower core. So we're going to come into a 20-second flutter. Now you can either choose to keep the shoulder blades lifted. You can have them down your mat. You can choose to keep your hands behind your head, otherwise by the side of the body, maybe underneath you. So we are going to be fluttering for 20 seconds, all the way down, all the way back up, and then 10 seconds afterwards, you're just going to give me a hold. So you can either hold with the legs down so far that the low back stays on the mat. You can rest for the hold. If it's easier, maybe you stand up to hold. Whatever works for you today, you can just take a rest for that 10 seconds. We're just going to repeat this sequence 3 times, all right? To really target our lower core, make sure we're breathing through it. Get ready in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this flutter. So fluttering all the way down, all the way back up. Option to lower the shoulder blades down towards the mat. So you're bringing your legs down so far that the low back stays glued to your mat. Keep them up a bit higher if you feel it peeling off. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to hold here at the top. It's a 10-second hold. If you're holding up here, upper body back slightly for 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Remember, you just have 2 more rounds here. Many times when we work our lower core, we tend to hold our breath because it is pretty challenging. We never want to hold our breath though. So breath is moving. You have 3 and 2 and 1. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is it. Final 20 seconds. Breathe through it. Good. You're almost there. Getting that lower core action here. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth. Holding the breath for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to arms. We are going to go into a Spiderman Crunch, a hold and then rest before we repeat. So it is 20 seconds, coming up in a high plank. If you have any wrist issues, you can do it on your forearm plank. But basically what you're going to do is I really want to see if you can try to bring knee and elbow to touch, bring it back, and then the other side. Doesn't have to be very fast, trying to connect it as much as you can for today, and then we are going to be holding in a high plank for 10 seconds, taking a rest, and then we're going to repeat it. So it's a 3 rounds of this Spiderman Crunch with a hold. All right, go at your own pace. In 3, in 2, in 1. I remember the first time that I did these Spiderman Crunches. Oh my goodness, the burn was so real. Like, these are the hardest things I've ever done, and they are pretty challenging. So keeping the weight forward here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. So like I said, we do have a bit of a rest here. Whatever feels good. It might feel good to rest in a child's pose, but we are going to be doing that again. Again, maybe give it a try. If your wrists are feeling tender, you can be down on your forearms. Bring the knee as close to the elbow as possible. 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. See if you can really look towards your knee. Maybe you can exhale every single time the knee and elbows touch. Good. Couple more seconds. Breathing through here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Really felt that last one. The sweat is coming. It's a sunny day, which is awesome. Means my apartment's very warm, which is good. All right, so good news. We just have our final round. Best round, even if you just give me a couple ones, even if you just hold in that plank, whatever you gotta do. In 3, in 2, in 1. Let's do this. Knee and elbow touch. Bring it back. Exhale as they touch. Bring it back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have that 10-second hold. Breathing through this. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations on making it through day number 10 of this 21-day Gurl challenge. You're pretty much halfway there. I'm so proud of you for making it this far. Please stretch at home, and I can't wait to see you for day number 11.